Invest Area 90S is currently just offshore northern Madagascar right now. It is a tropical disturbance on the local scale. Meteo France has given it a zone of disturbed weather. I believe it as number 08. I believe is the number. I could be wrong with that, but around that number in general is what the Meteo France is getting right now. So right now, it's got winds estimated of 30 miles per hour and a pressure of 1,007 millibars, and is moving pretty much due west right now at a smooth 16 miles per hour. That's rather quick given these tropical cyclones, but this is an area of interest, and right now we are giving it a high chance of development, primarily in the Mozambique Channel. Since the storm is right now, you can see it's just offshore Madagascar. It's currently located at 12.9 degrees south, 51.1 degrees east. It's located 75 miles away from Vohemar, 108 from Sembaba, 125 from Antananarivo, 475 from Antananarivo, the capital of Madagascar, and 615 from St. Denis. Those in kilometers, 120, 172, 200, 760, and 990 respectively. The storm is intended to make landfall over Madagascar probably within the next 6 to 12 hours, if not sooner, as a tropical depression, or a low pressure area, I should say, and is currently given, as I just said, a high chance, 70% chance in the Mozambique Channel for development into a tropical cyclone. Thankfully, there are no watches or warnings in effect, and there are, I imagine, some heavy rainfall alerts in northern Madagascar as this system pushes on through over the next 6 to 12 hours and into the following days as well, as this storm is going to hug the coast of Madagascar afterwards and is likely to develop into a tropical cyclone in the Mozambique Channel, which is where we are currently forecasting development. The main threat with this system primarily is going to be flooding as a result. This system is fairly large, so the heavy rainfall threat does extend quite a far ways away from the supported low-level system, you can call it. But we were expecting up to 300 millimeters of rainfall is possible over the coastal areas of northern Madagascar. Primarily going to be a coastal event as far as the model can say, but that's not to say that some rainfall totals as high as maybe 200 millimeters could reach some inland areas, which also leads to some landslide problems and mountainous regions. You can see some additional problems as well as this system pushes on through. Thankfully, the system isn't going to linger in the area for a few days, so it's likely to be pretty much a very fast mover through the next 3 to 4 days. We'll have to see what it does beyond that. So here's the latest track forecast that we're seeing right now. Very quickly landfall in Madagascar relatively soon. Weakens a little bit as it passes over the Madagascar due to land interaction, and this is subject to change. We are expecting a tropical depression to form potentially early locally on Tuesday, an intensifying tropical storm pushing off towards the south. But notice, look at that, slowing down as we get into the later parts of this week, and intensifying as it does so. So how strong does the storm get, and where does it go after that? We'll have to wait and see on that. Here's the latest Meteo France's forecast cone. You can see that they are forecasting a severe tropical storm at the end of that forecast period, so we'll have to wait and see how strong this storm gets. Still some bit of question marks. There are some model runs that are on the lower bound of things, suggesting that the storm could only get up towards maybe mid-tropical storm status, but then they also have the GFS, which we'll see here in just a few seconds, at a higher end, projecting that the storm could get up towards Category 1 status on the Saffir-Simpson scale. Anywhere in between is possible. It's a bit hard to say what the storm's current intensity is right now, but we had an ASCAP pass that suggested winds of 25 miles per hour that it captured itself, but it didn't get the bulk of the convection, so as such we've gone with 30 miles per hour winds as a result based on that ASCAP pass. Interestingly, the Joint Typhoon Warning Center doesn't have a thing on this system yet. That's quite remarkable, given that it's been in invest now for about a day and a half. So here's the latest GFS model run. You can see it very quickly making landfall on Madagascar there, and takes its time developing in the Mozambique Channel, but look at that, very quick development, and sort of undecided on where it wants to go once it gets developed. And you'll notice that this video got up towards 7 days here, and look at that, maybe get up towards Category 1 status on the Saffir-Simpson scale at day 6 and day 7. We'll have to wait and see on that, as anything beyond really day 4 and day 5 is highly uncertain track and intensity wise for this storm. But it is in generally looking like that this storm, once it does end up forming, it's going to remain out to sea, sort of halfway in between the coastline of Madagascar and remember the country over there, Mozambique. Sort of halfway in between those, in general, is what the position is looking like for this tropical cyclone, to say roughly in between. So thankfully, not going to be a wind producer, but not to say that some heavy rainfall bands could reach onshore areas. Sea surface temperatures right now underneath the system are more than favorable for upward development, 27 to 28 degrees Celsius and higher, 29 to 30 even in the Mozambique Channel and higher. So more than enough fuel to sustain tropical cyclone development. That will not be an issue really until it gets farther south than the southern tip of Madagascar. That's when sea surface temperatures really start to become an issue for this storm. So it's got the next 5+ days to take advantage of these sea surface temperatures, and especially if it slows down over these areas. Surface observations aren't suggesting very much yet. We've got a pressure of 1,010 millibars just recorded just to the northwest of Madagascar there, 1,012 over land. It looks like 1,021 over that inland area. I think that's Antananarivo, or maybe just north of it. Suggesting so not really any useful surface observations just yet for this storm, unfortunately. Although we'll have to wait and see how these surface observation graphs get as the system hugs the coastline on Madagascar over the next few days. So here's the satellite imagery of the storm. You can see it right at the last second there. It was on a consistent west-southwestward movement, then it took a sudden jog towards the north. And that has brought the quote-unquote landfall location of this center, if you can even call it a center, further off towards the north. Still a bit of a question mark on how north the system goes. It could honestly barely miss Madagascar or go a little bit north of Madagascar. That is still entirely within the realm of possibility, but we're pretty set that this storm is going to make landfall. Heavy rainfall is going to be the primary threat, as I said earlier, 230 millimeters over the inland areas. A bit of a question mark how much rainfall there actually is going to be. There is still some wiggle room that could be a little bit higher, could be a bit lower than what we're advertising here. But either way, this system is a heavy rainfall threat for the coastline of Madagascar, and is expected to become a tropical cyclone in the next 4 to 5 days as it moves through the Mozambique Channel and intensify as it heads off towards the south. A heavy rainfall threat for Madagascar, as they keep on saying. And the system is expected to become a tropical cyclone and maybe even get up towards Category 1 status on the Saffir-Simpson scale as it pushes into the Mozambique Channel. And we'll have further updates on this system as it gets its potential naming. I believe the next name is, it's just off my head now, but it's the F name in the basin. Next storm for 2024 on the cards. It seems like it will happen in just a few days.